In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. That is the lie we tell ourselves to sleep at night. Because war implies a chance of victory. War implies two sides fighting for a future. I am here to tell you the truth. The war is already over. We have lost. Stop looking at the Eye of Terror. Stop worrying about the Black Crusades. Stop praying to the Golden Throne. Those are distractions, while the Imperium fights over crumbs of territory. Something else is happening in the void. The stars are going out. Not conquered, not destroyed, just extinguished. Like candles in a room where the oxygen is running out. We are not facing an enemy army. We are facing a galactic extinction event. The Tyranids are not invading our galaxy to conquer it. They are here to close the restaurant, and we are the last course on the menu. Let me show you why resistance is mathematically impossible. Imagine you are standing on a beach. You see a wave crashing against the shore. You fight it. You build a wall. You stop the wave. You feel proud. You think you have defeated the ocean. That is what the Imperium did with Hive Fleet Behemoth. That is what we did with Leviathan. We stopped a wave, but we did not see the tide rising behind it. The Tyranids we fight today, the monsters that consume entire worlds in days, they are just the scouts. They are the desperate forerunners running ahead of the main herd. They are not the invasion. They are the fingers of a hand that is slowly closing around the Milky Way. Look at the galactic map. They are attacking from the east, from the west, from the galactic south. And now, from below the galactic plane. We are not fighting a war. We are being digested. The Hive Mind does not hate you. It does not fear the Emperor. It does not care about your chaos gods. To the great Devourer, gods are just spicy biomass. So let's stop pretending we can win and ask the only question that matters. How long until the lights go out for good? But sheer numbers are not the only reason we are doomed. The Tyranids have a weapon far more dangerous than claws or teeth. It is the silence, the shadow in the warp. Before the first spore pod even touches the atmosphere, a planet is already dead. The Hive Mind generates a psychic static so powerful it drowns out the Imperium. Astropaths go mad, psychers' heads explode. But worst of all, the Astronomicon goes dark. A world under Tyranid siege is instantly cut off from the Imperium. No reinforcements, no orders, no hope. Every planet dies alone, screaming into a void that refuses to answer. The Emperor's light does not reach them. In the end, they don't even know if the Imperium still exists. And then comes the ground war. This is where the math of survival fails. When the Imperium fights orcs, we spend ammunition. When we fight chaos, we lose soldiers. But fighting Tyranids is a thermodynamic nightmare. If you kill a Gaunt, the Hive Mind loses nothing. The dead alien is reclaimed, dissolved, and printed into a new warrior. But if a space marine dies, his gene seed is lost. His armor is digested. His very flesh becomes fuel for the enemy. Every bullet we fire is a wasted resource. Every drop of blood we bleed feeds the beast. It is a war of attrition where the enemy has infinite supplies. And we are the supplies. We are fighting a fire by throwing gasoline on it. So, is there anything that can stop the great Devourer? Is there any tactic force in this galaxy that the Hive Mind actually fears? Yes, but it is not us. The Tyranids avoid one thing above all else. They avoid the worlds that are already dead, the Necrons. The ancient dynasties are the hard counter to the Tyranid threat. Why? Because you cannot eat Gauss energy. You cannot digest living metal. When a Necron warrior shoots, he strips the atoms from his target. There is no biomass left to recycle. For the Hive Mind, a war with the Necrons is a net loss of energy. It is a meal that costs more calories to chew than it provides. This is the grim irony of our galaxy. The only thing that can save organic life from being eaten are the soulless machines who want to scour all life from existence. If the Tyranids win, the galaxy becomes silent. If the Necrons win, the galaxy becomes still. Humanity is just caught in the middle, a fragile piece of meat between a grinder and an anvil. But let us assume the Necrons do not wake up in time. Let us look at the final hours of the Imperium. It will not end with a bang. It will end in the dark. The final invasion will begin not with drop pods, but with a flicker. Unholy Terra, the Astronomicon, the guiding light for all human travel, will begin to dim. The shadow in the warp will grow so dense around the Sol system that the Emperor's psychic scream will be suffocated. Trillions of pilgrims will look up at the sky, waiting for angels. Instead, they will see the stars disappearing one by one, blotted out by a living cloud of spores. The custodes will fight, and the Imperial fists will hold the walls, but you cannot hold a wall against water, and you cannot fight an ocean with a sword. When the Hive Mind descends upon the throne world, it will not be a battle. It will be a consumption. The golden throne will fail. The Emperor, the carrion lord of humanity, will finally die, his withered body dissolved into biomass to feed a new generation of bio-titans. With Terra gone, the Imperium instantly ceases to exist. Every ship in the warp is lost. Every world is isolated. Humanity becomes nothing more than scattered cattle waiting for the butcher. So, what is the probability of this nightmare coming true? If we look at the numbers, if we look at the scale of the fleets entering our galaxy, the Tyranid victory is sitting at 90%. They have no political infighting. They have no supply lines to cut. They have no morale to break. They are a perfect biological machine designed for one purpose: to reset the universe to zero. The only variable that stops it from being 100% is the unknown. Maybe the Silent King unites the Necrons. Maybe the Emperor ascends as a warp god before the end. Maybe the orcs evolve into Krorks. But hope is not a strategy, and right now, looking at the galactic map, the evidence is clear. The galaxy is not at war. The galaxy is being digested. We are already in the stomach. Does humanity stand a chance? Or are we just delaying the inevitable? Tell me in the comments. Who wins in a fight between the full Tyranid swarm and a fully awakened Necron dynasty? For the Emperor, while he still lives, Vox Codex out.